Lido in the
Audio podcast. We over here chilling at the breakfast tonight. We got two very special guests in the building. Can you please introduce yourself?
Mina Mean of the Ladies of Super Fan, and
I am TC Chronicles. What's up, y'all?
Also representing Project Legacy.
So what are y'all doing here today?
So, what are we doing here today? We are here with our first annual breakfast. We are
420,
Yeah, 420, right. But we're co-founders of Project Legacy. Project Legacy is a movement. It's starting up 2025, and it relates to film and music.
What about you?
So, we came together for a story. We finished the story, but we always had a mission. We wanted to do bigger things. So we came up with a plan, and we strategized, and now we're going to launch the Project Legacy, which is the breakfast. This is our first event, and then we got other things going up with the music and, more into theater, you know what I'm saying, series, things of that nature.
And how did y'all come up with the name?
Which one?
Project Legacy.
Project Legacy? Oh, that was me. I'll take that. Okay, so Project Legacy, because we're working on projects, and anything we do at this point in life, it has to leave a legacy.
Yes.
So that's just the stage we're in life, and anything we do is all about legacy.
Okay, and what about you? How did you come up with it?
Well, we came up with it. She came up with it, but we came up with it kind of collectively because of what we said we wanted to do. We had different avenues that everybody had a special expertise in. You know what I mean? So we're just actually coming together as one to just build something, and we wanted to build legacy. We sat down. We strategized, like I said. Greco was like, he had these very, he wanted to, he said he wanted to leave a legacy. We was like, all of us was on that same page. So, that kind of incorporated how we got the name Project
What are
Legacy.
y'all doing here today?
So, we're here today because we are collaborating with a few artists, and we would like to give them exposure to their talent. We have a lot of talent in the building tonight.
I interviewed a couple of them. I think it's going to be all types of great artists.
Right.
Performing that's all different.
Yeah.
Which I like.
Yeah.
They come off because they was over here popping their ish.
Yeah, they was
Yeah.
popping their ish,
They
right?
was popping their ish.
They some talented guys. They talented. They real talented. So yeah.
We have a few of them that are seasoned. Like Greg, he's been doing it from way back when. Like he's a vet in the game.
Do y'all have a personal relationship with these people, or y'all just met them online, or?
So I have a story. Two of the artists are my stepsons. RIP to my husband, Vegas. So he's known out here in these streets, Vegas. So these are his sons. And so they're, in regards to Project Legacy, they're carrying their father's legacy. So
What makes them unique to you? What makes them pop out?
they're naturally gifted. They are naturally gifted. You'll see.
Yeah.
But Ty Vegas, like, how could I put this? They have their own craft. I personally believe, because I know their father, that it's a genetic, but the gift is there. They have their own style, but they represent, their style, their flow is different. But it's hard. It's real hard.
Which one was they?
So Vegas gang, which is Noha Vegas, he's the tall one with the dreads.
Oh, okay.
Ty, he's the shorter one with the low cut. And they're out in New York.
I can't wait to see them tonight.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
We got a lot of artists based out of New York, though. We do.
I see.
Yeah.
New York is in the building.
Yeah.
Y'all from New York as well?
No. Actually, I was friends with one of the artists, and then he introduced me to Greco. So that's how I met Greco. But I've always been, because I went to IBA, you know what I'm saying, to do radio and television. So I think I branched out with him over a collab or something, and then we just connected like that. So we've been friends for over like 5 or 6 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So how important is it to build relationships?
Boy, yeah, I feel like it's very important to build relationships. Let me tell you, where your character is and where you want to set your growth, you know, as far as moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Elevation. So that's what we're all about. You know what I'm saying? It's all about building one another up, coming together and building something that's going to come out fantastic, beautiful. That's how I do it.
Same question?
Yeah.
So, relationships is everything. Without them, you're nothing. Like you're stagnant, you're stuck. So, you know, my life lessons have taught me to build, you know, connect, build the relationships, and sustain it. You like keep it there.
Yeah.
You know, and don't be afraid. Always be a student. That's, you know, something I've had to learn along the way. It's to always don't always know everything.
Yeah.
You know, when you meet people, like it's an exchange.
Yeah.
You know, and you can always learn something from the people you meet. So those relationships are vital.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can always learn from anybody. Don't take them like they up here and you down.
Yeah.
Definitely. We all can learn from each other. That's why we here. So y'all know I gotta get a little juicy in here, y'all. So if y'all had a ding-a-ling, what would y'all do with it?
Girl.
Is this like, you want us to be honest? Look.
Hell yeah. Yes. What would y'all do?
What you supposed to do?
Yeah.
You supposed to handle it.
I take it for what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? You know, just. And this is my thing. Sometimes it seems like the dudes with the good singling, you know, they have attitude problems, don't they? Yeah.
Mind you, Pop, you're talking to Intimate Chronicles as well. She has a platform called Intimate Chronicles. So that's okay. You're talking her shit right now. You popping her shit.
Exactly. But yeah, you know, I just feel like that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, that's another interview. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole nother interview.
I think let's talk about the Intimate Chronicles.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure you got all types of shit going on over there.
We just had, you know, topics about threesomes and things like that. You know, positions and, you know, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And
Hey,
relationship give and take.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know,
how do you feel about, you know, what the lifestyle is in your life?
it's just a variety. Let me just say that. It's a variety.
Down with the lifestyle.
Oh, good question.
That is like a hard question.
Yeah, because, I mean, I'm going to have to say yes. You know what I'm saying? I'm down with the lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I really am. I just feel like, I'm more in tune with myself. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, what is the lifestyle? You either have this lifestyle, you have that one. So I'm in a particular lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So I like the lifestyle that I live.
I feel like I was married for 20 years and I was in the lifestyle and I didn't know. Any goddamn way.
Yeah.
He was cheating on my ass, so what the hell? I was sharing him any goddamn way, so I'm like,
In that case, we were all in the lifestyle.
because I'm pretty sure everybody has somebody that did.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. But up to that.
Lifestyle this whole damn time.
Girl.
I don't like sharing my meat.
Who does? You know what I'm saying? They have you out here bent up. You know what I'm saying?
I personally just think it's a choice. Like, because you can't control other people.
Yeah.
Right? So then you have a choice to make. And then you have to be confident in yourself. Because you can get driven crazy if you worry about it. Like if you're not willing to share the meat. You know what I mean?
I met a couple.
Yeah.
I got to tell you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I met a couple. They was in the lifestyle. I still know them today. And they happy as hell. They the happiest couple that I ever met in my whole life.
Oh, wow.
I was married for 20 years happy. So I don't know. I'm like,
I'm about to put your mic down, okay? So they were happy, right? Because they probably were honest with one another. You know? And I believe in honesty. You don't always have to be with, like, you don't always have to do a threesome. I'm a firm believer in allowing people to be who they are. You know, when you try to be with somebody and change them because you think they're supposed to be exclusive to you, you're going to lose. You know, so I'm a firm believer in, you know, not necessarily necessarily sharing, but just respecting people for who they are, and then making my choice. That's all it is.
Let me make my own choice. Yeah, let me make my own. Yeah, let me.
You know, I might feel like it, I might not.
Yeah.
Right. Let me make that choice.
Yeah, don't control my decisions. You know what I'm saying? That's also you controlling the way I feel about you too.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Just go ahead and be honest. You know what I'm saying? You don't know how it may sting or whatever, but I might be like, you're not gonna respect you because you were honest about it.
That word,
You know what I'm saying?
respect. You know.
You never know what I might like.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Y'all can leave the people with something what y'all do.
Okay, say the question again.
If y'all can leave them, if y'all can leave y'all viewers with something, what would y'all leave them with?
I would say be real with yourself. You know, stay true to yourself. I stand on purpose. Anything I do has to serve a purpose. You know, I don't just wake up and move and because it feels good in the moment. Like whatever I do, it's a big picture. So like Greg says, it's a big picture.
Yeah. And I just feel like I always have a growth mindset. My thing is always, if you living, you growing. You know what I'm saying? And I always think about elevating yourself. You always can make yourself better. I'm not saying stay stuck in that, but you can recreate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And with other things, you just don't know. People have so many talents that they hide because they feel like they're not good enough, and they just never know. You know what I mean? So just always think like you can make it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever your dreams is, you have to try it at least once. You know, you do. That's how I feel about it. So that's what I would do.
That's some great advice for both of y'all. Y'all can let them know where y'all can be reached at one more time.
Okay, Superfan. You can reach us at Superfan Network on YouTube. Primarily, that's where y'all gonna find the smoke and the drama and the drama. But you can also reach us at Superfan on Facebook, TC Chronicles.
Also, did you say IG already? You said IG. Okay, you can reach us at Superfan Podcast on IG, Superfan Podcast or Superfan Network on TikTok.
No,
IG. Okay, it's two. And then Project Legacy. We have Project Legacy on IG too. And that's Project Legacy.100, right?
Correct.
On IG. All those pages you can reach us on. All those pages. Mina Mean has a page.
Mina.mean has _superfan. Mina.mean _superfan on IG.
And that's us. And all my tags is the same. TC Chronicles. If you just type that in, you'll find me. That's how. On all platforms.
And y'all already know who it is. This is your TC on the road to top. Yo, we out. Thank y'all.
Vito in the building.